Chapter I. After the death of Saul, David returned from his victory over the Amalekites and stayed 2 days in the city of Ziklag. On the next day, a young man came from Saul's camp. To show his sorrow, he had torn his clothes and put earth on his head. The young man went to the place where David was, knelt, and bowed his face to the ground in respect. David asked him, "From where are you coming?" "I fled from the Israelite camp." "Tell me what happened." "Our army fled from the battle, and many of our men were killed. Saul and his son Jonathan also died." "How do you know that Saul and Jonathan are dead?" "It happened that I came by chance to Mount Gilboa and saw Saul leaning on his spear. The enemy chariots and horsemen were drawing closer to him. Then he turned, saw me, and called me, and I answered, 'Here I am, Lord.' Saul asked who I was, and I answered that I was an Amalekite. And he said, 'I was badly wounded. I am dying. Come here and kill me.' So I went up to the place where he was, and I killed him because I knew that as soon as he fell to the ground, he would die. Then I took the crown from his head and the bracelet from his arm and brought them here to you, my lord." Then David tore his clothes in sorrow, and all his soldiers did the same. They wept, lamented, and fasted until evening, for Saul, for Jonathan, and for Israel, the people of the Lord God, because many of them had been killed in the battle. Then David asked the young man who had brought the news, "From where are you?" "I am an Amalekite, but I live here in your land." "How is it that you dared to kill the king chosen by the Lord God?" "Guard, kill him. The guilt of this is your own. You condemned yourself when you confessed that you had killed the king chosen by the Lord." David sang this lament for Saul and for his son Jonathan, and ordered it to be taught to the people of Judah. This lament is written in the book of the just. Our leaders are dead on the mountains of Israel. Our bravest soldiers have fallen. Do not tell it in the city of Gath, nor in the streets of Ashkelon, so that the women of the Philistines may not rejoice, nor the daughters of the pagans leap with gladness. Let no rain or dew fall on the mountains of Gilboa, and let their fields produce no more. For there the shields of the brave warriors lie covered with dust, and the shield of Saul lost its brightness. The bow of Jonathan was deadly, and the sword of Saul never failed to bring down the mighty and to kill the enemies. Saul and Jonathan, so dear and wonderful, together in life, together in death. They were swifter than eagles and stronger than lions. Women of Israel, weep for Saul. He clothed you with garments of fine red wool and adorned you with golden jewelry. The bravest soldiers have fallen and were killed in battle. Jonathan is dead on the mountains. I weep for you, my brother Jonathan. How I esteemed you. How wonderful was your love for me, better even than the love of women. The bravest soldiers have fallen, and their weapons are useless now. Chapter 2. After this, David asked the Lord God, "Should I go and rule over one of the cities of Judah?" "Yes." "Which one?" "Hebron." Then David went to Hebron, taking with him his 2 wives. One was Ahinoam from the city of Jezreel, and the other was Abigail, widow of Nabal, from the city of Carmel. David also took his soldiers with their families, and they lived in the neighboring towns of Hebron. Then the men of Judah came to Hebron and anointed David as king of Judah. When David heard that the inhabitants of the city of Jabesh in the region of Gilead had buried Saul, he sent some men there with the following message: "May the Lord bless you for having shown kindness in burying our king. May the Lord show goodness and faithfulness to you. Because of what you have done, I also will treat you well. Be strong and brave. Saul, your king is dead, and the people of Judah have anointed me as their king." The commander of Saul's army, Abner son of Ner, had fled with Ishbosheth, son of Saul, to Mahanaim, on the other side of the Jordan River. There Abner made Ishbosheth king over the lands of Gilead, Asher, Jezreel, Ephraim, and Benjamin. In fact, he made him king over all the people of Israel. Ishbosheth was 40 years old when he began to reign over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. But the tribe of Judah remained faithful to David, and he ruled it in Hebron for 7.5 years. Abner and the officers of Ishbosheth went from Mahanaim to the city of Gibeon. Joab, whose mother was Zeruiah, and the officers of David met them near the pool of Gibeon. There they all sat down, one group on one side of the pool and the other group on the other side. Then Abner said to Joab, "Let some of our young men face some of yours in armed combat." "Yes, all right." Then 12 soldiers representing Ishbosheth and the tribe of Benjamin fought against 12 soldiers of David, Each one seized his opponent by the head and thrust his sword into his side, and so they all fell dead together. That is why that place near the city of Gibeon is called the Field of Swords. After that, there was a violent battle there, and Abner and the Israelites were defeated by the soldiers of David, Joab, Abijah, and Asahel. The 3 sons of Zeruiah were there. Asahel, who was as swift as a wild gazelle, began to pursue Abner, running after him. Abner looked back and asked, "Asahel, is that you?" "Yes, it is. I stopped chasing me. Go after one of the soldiers and take his things for yourself." But Asahel kept pursuing him. Once again Abner said, "Stop chasing me. You are forcing me to kill you. How then could I look your brother Joab in the eyes?" But Asahel did not stop chasing him, and Abner struck backward with his spear. It went into Asahel's stomach and came out his back. He fell dead on the ground. And everyone who came to the place where he had fallen stopped there. But Joab and Abishai kept pursuing Abner, and when the sun was setting, they reached the hill of Ammah, east of the city of Giah, on the road to the wilderness of Gibeon. The soldiers of the tribe of Benjamin gathered again around Abner and stood on the top of a hill. Then Abner shouted to Joab, "Must we keep fighting forever? Don't you see that in the end nothing will remain but bitterness? We are your brothers. How long will you wait to command your soldiers to stop pursuing us? As the Lord lives, if you had not spoken, my soldiers would have kept pursuing you until morning." Then Joab blew the trumpet. All his soldiers stopped pursuing the Israelites, and the battle ended. That whole night Abner and his soldiers marched through the Jordan Valley, crossed the Jordan River, and after marching all the next morning, they arrived at the city of Mahanaim. When Joab ended the pursuit, he gathered all his soldiers and saw that 19 were missing, besides Asahel. But the soldiers of David had killed 360 soldiers of Abner, all of them from the tribe of Benjamin. Then Joab and his soldiers took the body of Asahel and buried it in his family's tomb in Bethlehem. Then they marched all night long, and at dawn they arrived in Hebron. Chapter 3. The war lasted a long time between those who supported the family of Saul and those who supported David. David was becoming stronger and stronger, and the people of Saul weaker and weaker. The sons of David who were born in the city of Hebron are these. The first was Amnon, son of Ahinoam, from the city of Jezreel. The second was Chileb, son of Abigail, widow of Nabal, from the city of Carmel. The third was Absalom, son of Masaj, who was daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth was Adnijah, son of Haggith. The fifth was Shephatiah, son of Abidal. The sixth was Ephraim, son of Eglah, wife of David. All these sons of David were born in Hebron, while the struggle continued between those who supported the family of Saul and those who followed David. Abner was becoming stronger and stronger among the people of Saul. One day, Ishbosheth, son of Saul, accused Abner of having had relations with a concubine of Saul named Ritzpah, daughter of Aiah. Abner became furious with this and said, "Ah, do you think that I am a traitor? You think that I went over to the side of the tribe of Judah? From the beginning, I have been faithful to the cause of Saul, your father, to his brothers and to his friends. And I have prevented you from being defeated by David. Yet today you accuse me of guilt because of this woman." The Lord God promised David that he would take the kingdom away from Saul and from his descendants, and would make David king, both of Israel and of Judah, to rule over the whole land. May God kill me if I do not make this happen. Ishbosheth was afraid of Abner, so he said nothing. At that time, David was in the city of Hebron, and Abner sent messengers to him with this message: "Who will rule this land? Make an agreement with me, and I will help you bring all the people of Israel over to your side." David answered, "Very well, I will make an agreement with you, but with one condition. When you come to speak with me, you must bring Michal, daughter of Saul." Then David sent some messengers to Ishbosheth, saying, "Give me back my wife Michal. I paid 100 foreskins of Philistines to have the right to marry her." Then Ishbosheth took her away from her husband, Paltiel, son of Laish. Paltiel followed her, weeping along the way until they came to the city of Bahurim. Then Abner ordered him, "Go back home." And he went back. Then Abner went to speak with the leaders of Israel. "Yes, for a long time you have wanted David to be king of Israel. This is the time to act. Remember that the Lord said, 'I will use my servant David to save Israel, my people, from the Philistines and from all the other enemies.' Abner also spoke with the people of the tribe of Benjamin. And afterward he went to Hebron to tell David what the people of Benjamin and the people of Israel had decided. Abner with 20 men went to Hebron to meet David, and David gave him a banquet. Abner said to David, "I will go now and win over all the people of Israel for you, my lord, and they will accept you as king. You will have what you desired, and you will rule the whole land." Then David let Abner go in peace. Shortly afterward, Joab and the other officers of David returned from a raid, bringing many things they had taken from the enemies. But Abner was no longer in Hebron with David, because David had already let him go in peace. When Joab arrived with his soldiers, they told him that Abner had come to speak with King David, and that David had let him go in peace. Then Joab went to speak with the king. "But what is this that you have done? Abner came here and you let him go. You let him leave just like that. Came to deceive you, to find out all the places where you go and everything you do. You know that." As soon as Joab left David, he sent messengers after Abner. They caught up with him at the well of Sirah and brought him back. But David did not know this. When Abner arrived in Hebron, Joab took him aside at the gate, as if to speak with him privately, and stabbed him in the stomach with a dagger. Thus Abner son of Ner was murdered for having killed Asahel, Joab's brother. When David heard this, he said, "The Lord God knows that I and my followers are innocent of the death of Abner. May the guilt for this crime fall upon Joab and all his family. May there never fail in his family men who have gonorrhea or leprosy, or who are only able to do women's work, or who fall by the sword, or who lack food." Thus Joab and his brother Abishai murdered Abner, because he had killed Asahel, their brother, in the battle of Gibeon. Then David ordered Joab and his soldiers to mourn for Abner, to tear their clothes in sorrow, and to wear mourning garments. At the burial, King David himself walked behind the coffin. Abner was buried in Hebron, and the king wept loudly at his grave, and all the people did the same. And David made this lament for Abner. "Why should Abner have died as if he were a fool? Your hands were not tied, nor your feet bound. You fell as one falls before criminals." And then the people wept again for Abner. The people tried to persuade David to eat something before the day ended. But he swore this oath, "May God kill me if I eat anything before the day is over." The people heard this and were pleased. In fact, the people liked everything that the king did. Thus all the followers of King David and all the people of Israel understood that he had not taken part in the killing of Abner. And he said to his officers, "Know this: today a great leader of Israel has died. Though I am the king chosen by God, today I feel weak. The sons of Zeruiah are too violent for me. May the Lord punish these criminals as they deserve."